Before Care for Kids, I was literally hustling and spending a lot of my days just trying to find community resources, and honestly, there are days that I wasn't successful. You go home with a heavy heart thinking, this child's shoes have holes in them, and I tell him I love him. How does that translate? How can I prove that my words mean something if I can't change something that seems pretty simple, like just buying a child a new pair of shoes? You know, Care for Kids, I get emotional because it has allowed me to have some authenticity to my words. I can't repay the generosity that I've been given. The fact that they have allowed me to have a completely different role as a school counselor than I would without Care for Kids.
I count myself very fortunate to be working with the superintendents in this area of Stone and Taney County. There isn't one of them that isn't deeply appreciative of what the foundation is able to do in helping draw attention to the needs of the kids in these communities.
I think one of the things that struck me most when moving or coming to Taneyville School was just the level of poverty. It's very prevalent right next to the school district. It's just very evident to see that there's a struggle here for resources. While what we lack in maybe monetary resources, we are able to make up with those personal relationships that we have with our kids. In our faculty and staff, you will not find a faculty and staff that have a greater heart for their kids. This is not a school district, this is a ministry.
Care for Kids funds allows me as an administrator to get a call, hey, so-and-so's walking out of their shoes, you know, whatever the issue is, can we get a new pair within an hour? Our district is structured in a way where we can keep resources here, and I can get new shoes on a kid's feet in an hour. And so they may go to lunch with one pair of shoes on and go back to class with a different pair of shoes, changes recess, changes their feelings of hope, changes their feelings of self-worth. And in their small world, that's a big deal. Sorry.
The beauty of partnering with schools in the way that we have is that their end goal is for the health and the education of these kids. So they already are looking to take down the barriers that would prevent them from learning or from thriving. And so as we partner with them, we're looking to them not to do anything special, they're just doing their job. And then we're able to put resources into their hands to be able to connect the dots and get the child what he needs or what she needs to be successful, to get back in the classroom and learn.
We are a very close-knit school, so anytime that a child has a need, it's communicated very quickly, whether it's to our Care for Kids program coordinator or administrator. But I feel like we don't have a long process. If a child needs something, they get it that day.
Civil Our City Foundation has been in existence since 1996, and we work with 14 different school districts in Stone and Taney County. We provide them with funding to help meet the physical needs of kids, and in less than a month we will write a check that'll bring the total to $2.1 million that have been distributed to those 14 school districts for them to do just get kids back in the classroom and help in some small way.
We had a third grade student and he was demonstrating some of those at-risk behaviors and actions that would indicate there is something substantial missing. There's a void in his day-to-day care. The ultimate distress was coming from the lack of health care for the dad. He was the single parent provider in the home. He has his own health issues. He was under-resourced. He was struggling. He needed support. He needed someone to come alongside him and help him get his own care plan in place so that he could be healthy, stable, and so that he could parent, these children. There were multiple kids in the family. And so with a pair of shoes and with a few other little things that Care for Kids Funds allows us to provide for the family, he sees that we're there for the needs of his children. And so that opens the door for trust. That opens the door for us to build rapport with this dad. Sorry. Anyway. I'm not making it up, at least you know that.
This little boy had a pair of shoes that he didn't want to walk around. He was on his class was on their way to PE, and he hung back and was literally hiding in the hallway. And being a principal, knowing that, you know, they have to be somewhere, I asked him, I said, you know, where's your class? And he began to tell me about going to PE, and he didn't want to go. And the reason he didn't want to go was because literally his toes were sticking out of his shoes. Through Care for Kids funds, we had enough shoes on hand that we could get that little guy off on his way. And as the story goes, I gave him 2 pair.
I often talk about the ripple effect. You know, the idea is not that we take care of a child in crisis and that's it, but that as they live out their life and their family lives out their life, that they recognize that we're all in this together. That while I am a small piece of it, of what's going on, that they can take that, build from it, and invest in other people's lives. And however they do it. Some of us do it through time, some of us do it through treasure, some of us do it through talent. They all matter.